Day fellow, Setsu is back. Today, my fellow, I'm going to explain the concept of photoelectric effect. The word photo means light, and the word electric has to do with electrons. Electrons has to do with electrons. Then let us define the term photoelectric effect. It's when the light strikes the surface or shone. It's when the light is shown on a surface of a metal and electrons will be ejected. You see, it's when the light somehow, let's say this one is our electron with the surface of the metal. We allow the light to strike the surface. After some time, the electron will then be ejected. You see, will then be ejected. Then a learner must know that a photon, the word light is made up of what? Light is made up of photons. See, then what are photons? Photons are the packets or the quantum packets of energy. Photons makes the light. Then now, how do we calculate the energy of that photon or this photon? We use this formula to calculate what? The energy of a photon, whereby our E is an energy of an photon, energy of photon, H, the Planck's constant, Planck's constant, then whereby our F is what? Frequency of the light. Frequency of the light. See? Then the units of energy is joules, then of frequency it's hertz, then of Planck's is going to be joules per second. Joules multiplied by second there. Then now, as a learner, you must know that the value of Planck's constant is always 6.63 multiplied by 10 to the power of minus 34. This value won't change. We always use it like this. Then we also have what? We also have frequency, which can be written in a form of C divided by wavelength. This is another formula that we use to calculate what? The frequency, whereby our C, the speed of light, then lambda, just the wavelength. The speed of light is always 3 multiplied by 10 to the power 8. The units for wavelength meter, for speed meter per second. See, Then now, let us continue. Bear in mind that we said the term photoelectric effect is when the light strikes the surface and the electron is ejected. For this electron to be ejected, somehow the frequency of the light has to be greater than threshold frequency. And now, what do we mean by the term threshold frequency? Threshold frequency. Threshold frequency is just the minimum frequency for the electron, minimum frequency for the electron to be ejected. You see, this is just the definition of threshold frequency. Somehow, if the frequency of the light is less than threshold frequency, then for this condition, there will be no ejection. Ejection of what? Of electron. But when the case is like this, then the electrons will be ejected. Electrons will be ejected. Electrons ejected from the surface of the metal. See,